Chris Mannix for the crossover alongside Rowan Ned Carney and Howard Beck. Guys, Russell Westbrook is on pace to average a triple-double for a fourth season. Meanwhile, Nikola Jokic is threatening to do so for the first time in his career, but triple-doubles seem to have dipped in value over the last few years. Rohan, how do you value the triple-double?
That's an interesting question, Chris. I think as a fan, I value it a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. I mean, you see some of the numbers Russell Westbrook's been putting up. I believe his stats this month, the first player with as many points, rebounds, and assists. He hit certain benchmarks that no player has done since Wilt Chamberlain in the 1960s. So as a fan, I really value it. I think obviously there's some discussion as to what it really means on the court. I mean, Russell Westbrook obviously has been putting up these numbers for years now, and I think we do take for granted just the way he puts up triple doubles seemingly with ease. At the same time, he's also had a questionable impact on winning in different situations. So even though the Wizards have been playing well lately, so as a fan, I love triple doubles. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to follow the game and see, just the way it's changed, the pace, the different guys who can pass, rebound, etc. In terms of what they actually mean on the court, I do think that's up for debate a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely up for debate because if Russell Westbrook is the modern avatar of the triple double, and he is, both averaging it for a season, the number he's put up in individual games, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Let's say that first. What he has done, what he continues to do is absolutely astounding and does speak to Russell Westbrook's talent and his drive and his tenacity. But in terms of whether triple doubles are now meaningful, listen, in the 2011-12 season, there were 18 triple doubles across the entire league. 18. Over the last 5 years, the league has averaged 113 per season. A lot of that's Westbrook himself, but it's also Doncic and Giannis and now Jokic, Harden. There's just a lot more than they have ever been. It has to do with the pace of today's game. It has to do with how much more, if you have a superstar, you just put the ball in his hands all the time and let their usage rate skyrocket so they can amass all those stats. So in a historical context, it's probably gotten a little bit skewed. It's still a really impressive feat.
Yeah, it's an incredibly impressive feat. Rohan, you mentioned there, like, the impact on winning by Russell Westbrook. You said, okay, but the Wizards are playing well of late. Yeah, the Wizards are playing really well of late. As we record this, they have won 8 straight games, and a lot of that has had to do with the production of Russell Westbrook. I think these numbers, Rohan, are still incredibly valuable, and I think they should not be dismissed out of hand. I think what matters when it comes to triple doubles is how efficient they have come. Russell Westbrook, in his 3 straight years of averaging a triple-double, his shooting percentage was right around 42, 43%. That's not a great number. That's why he was dumped on so often for being kind of a volume type of guy. But I think when those numbers are acquired, the triple-double numbers are acquired in an efficient way, it is still a ridiculously valuable metric to look at when it comes to player success. And look, let me be clear on this one. The Russell Westbrook 3 straight seasons of averaging a triple-double, that is the Joe DiMaggio streak of the NBA. That's never, ever going to be broken. So we can talk about, how, like Howard said, the numbers have gone up in recent years. Nobody ever is going to average a triple-double for 3 straight seasons.
Listen, I agree. It's a very impressive feat. You mentioned his efficiency. I mean, Russell Westbrook was kind of a salary dump trade this offseason. Is it fair to call it that? I don't think that he's a bad player. It just is, we've had this conversation on Russ for years. I'm probably one of the few people left who's not upset that he won an MVP when he did. And I agree, like when his efficiency goes up, I think that's more important than him getting triple doubles or not. I don't mean to dismiss it. I don't mean to dismiss how fun it is to watch Russell Westbrook. I don't begrudge people who enjoy watching him play. I'm one of those people. I just think that, a triple double isn't necessarily an immediate measure of success, as we've maybe come to believe it. The last 20 years or so of the NBA, just the way Howard has mentioned, it's exploded in the game in such a way that, when you see a triple double, that doesn't immediately mean this team is going to be great or this player is necessarily going to be the star or, number one guy on a championship team. I think that's really the conversation where it's come through. But in no way am I saying it's not an impressive feat.
But, let me put this to you, Howard. Why is it not a metric that says this guy is a great player? You look at that list of players that are putting up triple doubles. There are no scrubs on that list. You're talking about the Westbrooks and Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic. I mean, I think it is a metric of a great player.
No, it's absolutely an indicator of a great talent and a great player. And I think everybody who's put up a number of these, not just the one-off here and there, but who's put up a ton of these, as Westbrook has, as Doncic is now doing, as Giannis has, it indicates to you great individual talent. But Chris, you pointed out the shooting percentage, the efficiency. That's an important element too. And also, it's just a matter of how you channel it. Like with anything else, like we've sometimes seen scoring champions on teams that are, fringe playoff teams. The bottom line in this league is, does your individual talent lift up your team, and does it power it through to postseason success? We haven't seen that enough from Westbrook. We've seen the 3 first-round exits in Oklahoma after Durant left, even while Westbrook was putting up incredible numbers. We saw him join with Harden for one postseason and lose in the second round pretty badly. And then we saw him get shipped off in a trade of bad contracts to Washington, where he's now got Bradley Beal next to him. And yes, it's been a tough season for the Wizards. All kinds of weird stuff has gone on. But that team is struggling just to make the playoffs. So it's not that anything about the triple-double or the stats that Westbrook puts up don't mean something. They do. They indicate his great talent level. But we are always going to judge guys eventually on their postseason success. And in Westbrook's case, that success has not followed the stats.
I do like the 3 straight first-round exits after Durant left, which is akin to, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? I mean, that was Kevin Durant that left. Before that, they were pretty damn successful in the playoffs. But I do think if you want to criticize Russell Westbrook for how his teams have struggled, right now, as we sit here with the Wizards, the hottest team in the NBA, first 8-game winning streak in, I think, 20 years, I think you got to give him credit for that. For more, check us out over at SI.com.